So, my name is Leif.
My name is Owen Honikin.
Today we're going to be talking about Orientalism and Imperialism, starting with the Philippine American War. So, since its conception, the United States has successfully overthrown governments in 31 countries, and in the past 12 months, we've attempted regime change in both Venezuela and Iran, and we've floated the idea of regime change in Cuba. This tradition of coups d'etats began after the Spanish-American War of the 1890s, where the United States defeated the Spanish Empire alongside the governments of numerous occupied territories, and Washington decided that this came with the right to dictate the future of Guam, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and the Philippines. And while the Philippines aspired for self-governance, the United States saw a myriad of opportunities in turning the Philippines into our own colony.
Oh, okay. What types of resources did the Philippines have?
So, Albert J. Beveridge is a senator from Indiana. And on January 9th, 1900, he said, quote, "Our largest trade henceforth must be with Asia. The Pacific is our ocean. More and more Europe will manufacture the most it needs, secure from its colonies the most it consumes. Where shall we turn for consumers of our surplus? Geography answers the question. China is our natural customer." So the U.S. decided that the Philippines as a territory was very important for our future of trade with the rest of Asia, since it sits in the Pacific Ocean on our way to countries like China. We needed places to refuel our boats because at the time we're using steam-powered ships, right? And steam-powered ships need coal, and you need to stop and refuel them. You can't just go directly across the ocean, right? So we needed territories such as the Philippines for market dominance, and we decided that the best way to achieve this goal was through force.
Okay.
But that wasn't very popular. So we turned to tactics of dehumanization.
What forms of dehumanization was targeted at the Philippines?
You'll actually see a lot of parallels between modern day Orientalism and the exact same things we were saying about the Philippines in the 1900s. So another quote from Beveridge is, "Self-government is no base and common thing to be bestowed on the merely audacious. It is the degree which crowns the graduate of liberty, not the name of liberty's infant class, who have not yet mastered the alphabet of freedom. Savage blood, Oriental blood, Malay blood, Spanish example, are these the elements of self-government?" So they painted the Filipinos as less human and as savages who were not able to decide on their own forms of government. And this abetted massive crimes against humanity. There's an NPR segment where they interview the author of How to Hide an Empire. The author's name is Daniel Immerwahr, and he's an expert on United States history, and he's written books on United States imperialist history. And he retells some of the war crimes that we committed against the Filipino people. So he said, U.S. forces are concentrating people in camps or garrison towns where they're cut off from food supplies. It's torturing people with a kind of water-based torture, where dirty water was put into insurgents' mouths or suspected insurgents' mouths until they just couldn't take it anymore, and it becomes a scandalous war. And we see this type of torture, water-based torture, even today conducted against Orientals in our current wars to overthrow governments. So if you look at places like Guantanamo Bay, where we locked up insurgents from Afghanistan and Iraq during the War on Terror, we are still using this water-based torture because we've said that those people are less than human, right?
So is that why the CIA is able to get around their torture laws by dehumanizing the people they're torturing?
Yes. So in the United States, people can't be held without trial. So offshore bases such as Guantanamo Bay give us the opportunity to hold people without trial and torture them. And during the War on Terror, we were able to justify this by dehumanizing these people. And we dehumanized them with the same type of Orientalism. A lot of people don't realize that Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, this is West Asia, and we treat them the same way. This war in the Philippines becomes scandalous, and it's because of how badly we're treating the people. The Philippine War sets the blueprint for our treatment of Asian countries in more than one way. So, after we won the Philippine American War, we didn't directly rule over them permanently. We actually installed a friendly government, a government that's friendly to United States interests, and used that to project soft power into the region, which is also the exact same thing that we see today.
What would be the difference between that and just full-on occupation?
The primary difference is that the government is technically a government of Filipino people. So one thing that allows us is that it gives that government legitimacy in the region. So people see that government as government by themselves, for themselves, despite the fact that they didn't actually choose the form of government.
Can examples of this be seen in the current Iran war?
Yes. So we've decided that they are unfit to rule their own people, and it's because we've created an idea of Iranian people that makes them synonymous with terrorists, and we've created an idea of West Asian people that makes them synonymous with terrorists. So in Iran, in Afghanistan, in Libya, in Iraq, all of these countries have been overthrown because we do not believe that West Asians can govern themselves. And another place that we do this, right, in 1953, we overthrew Iran's democratically elected leader, Mohammad Mossadegh, and we replaced him with a dictatorship under the Shah Reza Pahlavi. Despite being elected, Washington decided Iran was unfit to elect their own leaders. And this is the exact same thing that we did in the Philippines. Or not the exact same, because in the Philippines we didn't replace their leaders with a dictatorship, but we did say, you cannot choose your government, we will choose your government for you. And Iran decided the puppet government did not fit their needs. It was overthrown and replaced with the current Iranian government. And once again, we have decided that they are unfit to choose their own leaders. Just to show how much this blueprint has been used, I have a list of wars that have happened through Asia where this exact same tactic has been used. And this tactic is to first identify a government that you want to overthrow, to dehumanize the people, and then to overthrow their government. And this is usually accompanied by gross crimes against humanity. The Philippine War, which is the first in a long line of Orientalist wars, saw 750,000 people dead in a country of 7 million.
Damn.
Following this, Korea saw 2 to 3 million dead in a country of 20 million.
Would that be when we intervened in the North versus South Korea war?
Yes, and there are a lot of accounts of soldiers talking about how they do not see the Koreans as people because we dehumanized the Koreans. Vietnam saw 1.5 to 3 million deaths of 27 million. The War on Terror, which took place in West Asia, saw 2 to 3 million deaths in Iraq. Most recently, the U.S. abetted Israel's genocide in Gaza, for which the death toll ranges from 75,000 to 126,000 out of 2 million. So, we can see this blueprint has been used many times throughout history, where U.S. Orientalism and dehumanization has served our imperialist interests in the way that we project our soft power by overthrowing governments in other countries. And there's a direct line to where this attitude and this strategy started in the Philippines.